There comes a moment in every person's life where they have to stop running from themselves, where they have to turn and face the truth, not the version they tell the world, but the one that stares back at them in silence. And in that moment, only two voices speak. One whispers excuses, the other demands ownership. Every excuse you've ever made, every reason you've given for not starting, not finishing, not following through. They were never protecting you. They were containing you. Fears disguised as logic. Doubt dressed up as strategy. But let me be clear. Your excuses are not unique. They are not special. They are the same recycled justifications used by millions who chose comfort over greatness. And the only difference between the life you want and the life you're living is what you're still making excuses for. You say you want it. You say you're hungry. But when the grind shows up, you stall. You negotiate. You delay. Why? Because building a life of purpose doesn't start with a plan. It starts with fire. And fire doesn't wait for permission. Look back at every person who ever changed the world. They didn't start with resources. They didn't wait until the timing was perfect. They didn't ask for validation. They burned the bridge back to average. And they built the life with whatever they had left. Abraham Lincoln failed in business. Lost multiple elections, was ridiculed, depressed, broke. But he didn't build excuses, he built resolve. And that resolve became the backbone of a nation. You either find a way, or you find a story to explain why you didn't. Some people wake up and live the same day for 30 years, calling it stability, calling it realistic. No, it's fear wearing a suit. It's mediocrity with a mortgage. Let me ask you something. What would your life look like if you stopped explaining failure and started engineering success? What if, instead of telling the story of why it didn't work out, you became the story of why it finally did? That kind of life, it doesn't come from luck. It comes from ruthless self-honesty. It comes from the decision to kill every excuse that's still keeping you small, because no one ever sculpted greatness around a safety net. No one ever achieved immortality with a backup plan. Excuses feel comfortable because they delay responsibility. They create the illusion of control. But while you're busy defending your limitations, someone else is disciplining their mind, sharpening their craft, refusing to quit. Every time you say, "I'm too tired," there's someone out there using fatigue as fuel. Every time you say, "It's not the right time," there's someone else using the same clock to make their moment count. Excuses are liars, and you've been listening to them for far too long. They will steal your potential with your full cooperation. They will take your dreams and leave you with a perfectly logical explanation for why you quit. But you don't get to have both. You can have excuses, or you can have results. Never both. You want the body? Then the diet starts when the craving hits, not after. You want the business? Then show up on the days you don't feel like it. You want to master your mind? Then you better stop feeding it weakness. Greatness is not found in comfort. It's found in commitment. And commitment means burning the option to fail. That's what Thomas Edison did. 10,000 failed prototypes. 10,000 lessons. And not once did he say, "This must not be for me." Because real builders don't look for exits. They look for ways. You don't build a life by feeling ready. You build it by deciding that failure will not be final. You build it by waking up earlier than your excuses, by showing up when no one's watching, by choosing progress over pity every single day. Discipline is the weapon. Vision is the map. And belief is the engine that keeps it all moving forward when nothing else makes sense. You think the world owes you clarity? It doesn't. It owes you nothing. But you owe yourself everything. You owe it to that younger version of you, the one who dreamed without limits, who believed life was supposed to be extraordinary. Not just fine, not just stable, but explosive, passionate, unstoppable. That version of you didn't make excuses. They just believed. Until the world convinced them to settle. It's time to unlearn the lie. You're not too late. You're not too old. You're not too behind. Those are just newer versions of the same old excuses. Burn them. Burn the belief that fear protects you. Burn the habit of procrastination dressed as preparation. Burn the idea that you have time to waste. You don't, because the clock doesn't care about your plans. It cares about your decisions. And every moment you delay is a moment you could have been building. Every maybe later is a step further from your mission. Every comfort you choose today adds compound interest to the regret you'll feel tomorrow. So ask yourself, are you building the life? Or just defending the one you were given? Are you rewriting the script? Or just reciting someone else's? The life you want is on the other side of brutal, unrelenting, obsessive accountability. It's built brick by brick when no one claps, when nothing is guaranteed, when it's just you, your vision, and the will to make it real. This is the price. And the payoff? It's becoming the kind of person who didn't stop when it was hard, who didn't fold when it was heavy, who burned every excuse, and built a life that lit up the world. So stop running, stop explaining, stop waiting. Look your excuses in the eye and say, you don't run this anymore. You do, because this is your season, your chapter, your war, and the life you've always dreamed of is still possible. But only if you're willing to let go of the lies that told you it wasn't. Burn the excuses, build the life. No one else can do it for you. And nothing worth having was ever built any other way.